Wow, there's so much fantasy in that, it's amazing. Now, what you're going to hear from me and Terry are going to be two opposing views. There is no bridging the gap. There is no breaking bread. There is no agreement. Terry and I are simply disagreeing on this, and that's fine. It's about what you guys think. Now, I'll just lay it out for you real simple. Why do you need to ask the owner if he's on board with it if the player's hurt? Oops.
Because it's one of your two quote-unquote franchise players.
Guy's hurt, don't need the owner's blessing. Sorry, he's not hurt. Second of all, they're already talking about, there's another clip which Sully didn't play. They're already talking about the offseason program. They are shutting this guy down to send a message in my book. And look, Stan can keep it positive all he wants, but this thing had the natural progression. Team was better without him. Guy comes back, tears it apart. They have a team meeting, all about him. Eventually, dude gets benched. Probably not happy. Next step, well, now you're not playing. So put on that bow tie and the blue velour jacket and stand here. And here's what I love. They're tanking. It's epic. It's delicious. It's sexy. They're tanking.
That's where we agree. They are tanking. And guess what? They should.
They should. But Terry and I just have always had a disagreement about Reggie Jackson, and it won't be fixed. That's fine. I don't want to even go down that road today. I don't want to argue about it. It's not worth it.
Can I at least...
Oh, yes. No, you can have the rest of the segment.
No, I don't. I just want to present my part of the argument.
I just want to let me throw the number out.
I think Reggie Jackson may be done as a starting point guard. And I know you're saying, he was done before he even started. But I think that procedure, and this is what the Pistons need to find out, that procedure, is this going to linger for the rest of his career, or is this going to linger just for this season? That's why they're shutting him down. That's why they're going to look into the offseason. This knee procedure, this shot or whatever he had, changed Reggie Jackson as a player. This is what I believe. Reggie Jackson lacks explosiveness now. He had it last year. He doesn't have it this year. And what the Pistons need to find out, and they need to examine, will it ever come back? He is damaged goods. I understand that. He is damaged goods, but I still believe that knee procedure was a part of why he was. Last year, he was explosive. I'm not saying he was a great point guard, but at least he could drive past some people. He can't even get past people this year. So is it that he aged 20 years in the matter of months? No. I do think that knee is a problem. They've been fighting, not fighting, but debating this for a while. Should we shut him down? And I think they finally did. Now, here's the lie. Oh, we're resting him. No, they're not resting him. They know that he might be done for at least this season, that he can't provide that energy. He can't provide what Ish Smith can provide right now. So they shut his ass down.
But why would you bench your $80 million player if what you're saying is true? You would have rested him then. You wouldn't have benched him and embarrassed him.
You should have done it earlier. Is the Pistons a finite and finished product? Is Stan Van Gundy doing everything the right way? No, he's not. Stan Van Gundy has some flaws, too, as a coach and a president, and I don't think he handled this in the right way. He should have done this a long time ago. But in his defense, Stan Van Gundy is a competitor. He wants all 12 players to be able to help him with this playoff push that he was fantasizing about. But now I think they just kind of realize, even if they make the playoffs, what is the point? They'll get crapped. They'll be dogged. And maybe Stan Van Gundy woke up and said, you know what? Reggie may never be able to do this again. If I get into the lottery, I can get the point guard of the future. And maybe woke up.
All right, well, you need to wake up. Reggie Jackson's done as a Piston. How about that?
I cannot argue with you on that, but we will. I think we say he could be done for different reasons. I think this knee injury could be a permanent thing for him.
Man,
that
you
he
act
may
like
never
he got Sean Livingston. I mean, it's not like he tore ACL, MCL, PCL here.
He's a point guard, and this is a pretty, even though it was a shot, it was a pretty, I think it was a very significant
Here's the other
procedure.
Angle. Here's the other angle, too, and I don't know if people recognize this, or I would love to hear from you. 248-539-9797. Stan Van Gundy's players seemingly have quit on him. The same way his Orlando team did and the same way his Miami Heat team did. They've quit on him.
Seemingly?
Well, I'm trying to be fair.
Right.
I mean, there are still some people who will argue they're playing hard, and certain guys are. But this idea, I mean, watching that broadcast last night, I'm sorry, but, well, you got to get Andre engaged. Dude, you make $20 million. engage yourself. Smack yourself on the ass and get out there.
And don't give him more touches.
No, please, Grant Long.
That.
Grant Long, this is what I mean about the FSD people sometimes. Does Grant Long watch basketball actively? Andre Drummond is one of the least effective post players in the game. Can't shoot it from the post, doesn't get to the line, and when he does, he can't hit them. Those are facts. Go read Zach Lowe, Grant.
But there are people who believe if you're 6'10", 6'11", with a body like Andre Drummond, no matter what they see, they're going to say, got to get him more touches, which I think is one of the flaws in the league. Grant Long is not the only one who believes that.
Drummond and Jackson both got to go, period. And if you want to fire Stan Van Gundy while you're at it, go for it. Because this team's in full quit mode. They're not forcibly tanking up until the Reggie move. But this team looks like they don't give a damn. You don't lose to the Brooklyn Nets. You don't get blown out by the New York Knicks. It doesn't happen that way. They're 1-7 in their last 8?
Did you hear about the Bobby Williams moment? There was a Bobby Williams moment in all of this. Someone asked Stan Van Gundy, has this team quit? And he said, you'll have to ask them.
The players, yeah.
You have to ask the players. That's almost Bobby Williams when he was fired as Michigan State coach.
But if
they
that's
quit
happened,
on you.
if that's happened now, that's the third time it's happened to Stan in his career, Miami, Orlando, and here, then how do you carry on with him?
You can't.
Okay, well then, that's simple. Should Stan Van Gundy be relieved of his duties this summer? Because that's what you're saying.
Yes. If they quit on him, I don't think he can get that back, because whatever grinds these players, it may not be there in August, may not be there in September when they start training camp, but it's going to be there next January, next February.
248-539-9797. Here's what we've come to. Look, I'm a big believer Reggie Jackson's done. He's done as a Piston. I get rid of him this summer. I think they will. Andre Drummond is a whole nother matter because he's boys with the owner.
And so Stan Van Gundy.
And Stan Van Gundy's another matter. Isn't it true that all three should be gone? I mean, think it over now. If this team has quit on Stan Van Gundy, you have two choices. Either get rid of this team, figuratively, or get rid of Stan. I don't think you're doing both. But you either believe that Drummond and Jackson are redeemable to a championship level under someone else's guidance, or you don't.